Well, this week we're talking about reading assessment. So, first of all, my students, again, they're fifth grade students. They are beginners. So, the first thing I thought of when reading the chapters was to assess some reading comprehension. So, in the first assessment that I thought of would be like identifying and locating information in a text. That was one thing that they mentioned in Seymour and Walsh, and I thought for beginners it's quite important to be able to do that. So my idea was to give students a school schedule. So my students are Spanish students, so I'd like to give them a school schedule of an American school, so they could see sort of like the difference, of what what American students do during the day and what they do here and compare them. Um, so the idea would be for them to practice scanning based on realia. Um, so here I'm concerned more with developing better reading fluency with my students. So to continue to build up reading confidence by showing them how much information that they can really glean from a text without knowing every word. So again, they'd have to answer certain questions based on the information about the American school schedule. Um, like what do students do um, every Tuesday at 2 o'clock? How many days a week do they have music class? These kind of things. Some a quick way to practice scanning, and also a nice way to provide some washback after the activity. Um, the second assessment I thought of, again under the umbrella of reading comprehension, um, would be to do some what Seymour Walsh called synthesizing and evaluating. So after practicing a lot of bottom up processing skills to sort of build confidence, I want to sort of take the training wheels off. Um, so students will be given a short text, for example, about animal life in the desert. So something that they're familiar with because we've done animals in the class and different types of animals, where they live, what they eat, these kind of things. Then they would have to answer sort of open-ended reading comprehension questions. It's an interactive reading task, and it focuses on macro skills and top-down processing. So here we're going to start working on the top-down reading strategies. Um, so decided not to do multiple choice. Usually multiple choice is seen as something easier for beginners, but it has relatively low validity. So I'm not a big fan of multiple choice. I like students to be able to show me what they've learned from the text and be able to use their own words to produce their own answers. It's more difficult to grade because you have to you know decide what's more important, the language, the grammar, the spelling, or um, like sort of the accuracy versus fluency. But I prefer this method. Um, I think allowing students the opportunity to express themselves um, also provides some washback. So after the assessment's over, you have some nice opportunities to follow up with the students. Um, Another assessment I thought was good for my fifth grade students would be like recognizing main ideas. I think for all levels this is important, but it's important to start early on so that they know how to recognize what are the main ideas. So again, maybe give them the same text about animal life in the desert, um, and maybe you can do this before the reading comprehension assessment, and remove the title, and the students have to come up with the title on their own. So what is the main idea of the text? If they're familiar with this kind of exercise, then they can do it. If they're not so familiar, they can be given a choice of different titles, and they have to circle it and which one they think is best. Um, so also they could be given related vocabulary words. And they have to name the group. So you pull out some of the language from the text, which they should be familiar with, and have them come up with a name for the group. How are they related? This is a nice way for students again to sort of show what they know and show you the teacher how the words have been how they are related in the text. Um, so mammals, amphibians, desert animals, anything that you've been working on in class, you could use for this name the group activity. And then finally, some vocabulary building exercises. So, sort of based on the content of the course, again, students could be given another short passage about a familiar topic. So this time, maybe not animals, but maybe daily routines. And then they have a word bank, and they have a text. In the text, they have certain words that have been deleted, and they need to take the words from the word bank and put them into the text. So again, it's sort of similar to a closed exercise, but you're building vocabulary by making sure that the students know um, what those words are and how they fit into the text, and using the context of the sentence to be able to figure out what the answer is. And you can make it easier or more difficult by putting um, distractors in the word bank, so extra words that won't be used in the exercise. Um, so those are my ideas for my class, and I'm interested in hearing about your guys' classes and what assessments you've decided to use.